What is it? What do you say? Tractor life. Got the idea. It's weird, isn't it? It is weird, we just do it. Business is business.
Business is fucking business, Vivian.
Business. Right,
we're going places. Hey, I'm having a plate. I've just paid 400 quid for that.
Yeah, lads. Right then, lads. We've got 2 deals in a row. And I know this is a little bit of a shock to everyone here. Now this is actually a Volvo. We've actually got Emily's Volvo, and this is Vivian. She's actually called Vivian. Emily loves her very, very, very much. Now this is the 2-litre diesel one, so it's not the 2-litre petrol, the 2.5-litre petrol. The one behind the 2.5-litre T5. Fucking hell, man. Too many digits going on. Now Vivian is the 2-litre diesel version, so she's literally the one down from the 2.5-litre petrol, which is the T5. But I thought it'd be a very interesting comparison to see if she actually matches up to the T5, and if you can actually get an economical T5, because this has actually got a remap and it's pushing near enough the same numbers as the T5. Now the one thing that stands out about Vivian is that she's in the Rebel Blue, and apparently this is a big Volvo thing, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a very nice colour, I'm not gonna lie. She actually looks like a lot like the Renault colours that the Clio's use and stuff.
Oh, don't compare it to them.
Hey, come on. What are you doing, Em?
Sorry, my window looked like it was popping out.
Right, when I'm doing these reviews, I always like to research as much as possible. But this was literally the hardest car to research, because there's about 3,000 different bloody models. There's an SE Lux, a Lux, an R Design, an R Design Lux. I literally looked on Parkers.
This is an R Design Lux Nav.
This is a Lux Nav. Oh, so we've got an R Design Lux Nav.
Yeah.
So that's the one with the most optional extras.
Top spec, yeah.
Top spec, get out there, Em.
Yeah, you've got to put that in there.
Well, the main thing I was looking for was literally engine size, power, and MPG. When you put it down to them 3 things, they're actually pretty similar. Because we don't care about optional extras, we care about the way it drives.
What?
Get what in?
Sponsored.
The Auto...
If you want to sponsor me, Auto Gleam.
The Auto Gleam? Auto Gleam?
Right, what do you call it?
Auto Gleam? So I'm going to start outside in, and I'm going to come to the one thing that I know about these, right? Now Emily's insistent that they're not all like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Look at her following me, like checking up on what I'm doing. Luckily, Em's got the one with a dual exhaust. Now, the only bad thing that I noticed about the Volvos is the ones that come with the single exhaust. They still use the same bumper, but they just put like a silly little cap over that one, and it looks really cheap and horrible. So luckily Em's got the dual exit, and luckily she's polished them tips last night, didn't you?
I spent fucking ages on them, you know. You
spent ages polishing the tips, yeah? Yeah. Now, although she raves on about the Rebel Blue so much, it's like a really creamy blue, and I think it is really beautiful. Now, although Volvo have about 6,000 different versions, they are quite keen to show off which version it is. So this is the R Design. Let me tell you where they put R Design. Got it on the front, got them on the seats, got it on the steering wheel, got it on the chassis plate statistics thing, which is pretty obvious, but yeah. And Emily's gone a little bit further than that, and she's actually got her own little cup holders off eBay which say R Design, which is deadly cute. And she's even gone even more cuter, and she's put the R sticker on the wing mirror. Now the R Design actually comes with, so you've got the uprated steering wheel, which I'm guessing will have these sort of grooves, and it's got the little dimples and the leather and all that. It's got the uprated interior in a hole, which means you've got the leather seats, which I actually am a really big fan of. Leather seats are actually gorgeous. And you have this sort of carbon fibre look, carbon fibre slash not sort of carbon fibre bumpy look, which apparently comes silver, and I can imagine that being not as nice, but this has a little bit of a carbon fibre touch to the car. So you get the colour coded body kit as well with the R Design.
Like a bit more of a sporty kit.
And the R Designs are also lowered a little bit from factory as well. It goes with a nice colour coordinated body kit. So this is the Lux as well. So we get heated seats. What else do we get? We get sat nav.
Sat nav, yeah, that's the.
We get sat nav. Which done like a cool little pop up. So I quite like that. So with the Lux nav, you surprisingly get the nav, and with that we get upgraded speakers as well. And the speakers are actually pretty good, to be fair. Like I can imagine if you put a sub in this, it'd be absolutely banging. So they've got sub in it. If you put a bigger sub in it, it'd be absolutely banging. And the one thing I've noticed about this car, about the interior, is they've kind of got it a little bit mixed. They've got some things which are really nice, and some things which aren't really nice. It's kind of like the 1990s mixed with like the 22nd century. It's kind of really weird. So you've got these really nice leather seats, and you have like a really nice gear knob, but then you get this really weird sort of old style radio buttons, and you have like a really old LCD screen. Now the annoying thing is that, you know, every single car in history has pretty much had the key on the right hand side. You know, you come in, you put the key in, you turn it. Well, Volvo decided to be absolute weapons, and for some reason they put the key on the left, and oh, I almost grabbed the indicator stall there, and it just makes everything a little bit more confusing. Like I just had to switch my camera hands then. Like, that's just annoying.
That hits that
yeah.
all the time when you're driving, so I'm really sad to do this.
And
put a sunglasses case on it.
Do Volvo supply these?
No, that's a sunglasses
okay,
case.
so that's
Shout out to Primark.
That's another Nala point right there.
But unreal.
And just like the indicator stalks, they just don't feel very new. They just don't look very new, and the dash just looks a little bit old as well. I like the blue. Well, then you've got like the old style, all these LCD screens. When I don't know, it's really weird. It's nice, but you kind of have that old style feel. It's kind of like you don't really know what to think of it. Like when you look at it from the outside, you think, oh, the leather seats, they look absolutely beautiful. And then you get in, and it's like, oh, that's a nice button, but then it's next to like an old style phone. It's really weird. It's kind of confusing. You kind of feel.
I like it.
Do you like it? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's different, isn't it?
It is different. And the other thing I do really like is you have this sort of unnecessary gap here, but it is pretty cool.
It's good for a bit of change.
Good for a little bit of change, yeah. Annoying, like, look how weird this handbrake is. Like, I know that the Megane has probably got the weirdest handbrake I've ever been in, but that's up there. Like, what the hell is that about? In general, inside, I feel like they've done a good job of keeping it not madly expensive, but then actually making it feel nice as well. So, like the sort of carbon fibres look on the trim and stuff. You know, it's an easy thing to do, but it just makes the whole interior look nicer. And just putting all the flat bottom thing there, although they've used like old style buttons and old style screens, it does look pretty new. If that was just not green, then it would have made a whole lot of difference.
Change that, but obviously you have to take all of this out.
Okay, so it is changeable, that's okay.
Yeah, you can. There's like a green filter that you can take out.
But just the style of it all, and just like the door cars and the seats, and like from here backwards, it feels really new, and then from here frontwards, it kind of feels not as new. You know what I mean? Everything it is,
it's
like
humble.
All the buttons say what they do, and that's what they mean. Whereas you're getting a lot of German cars and it's like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Simple engineering, which gets me on to the next point. Now, I've worked with quite a lot of Volvos before, and I absolutely love it when a customer used to come in with Volvos, because their engineering is just so simple, and they actually think ahead of people touching the car. People coming in with Audis and stuff, it used to be the worst thing ever, because Audi build cars so you don't actually touch them. Like, they will do anything for people not to touch them and take them back to Audi, whereas Volvo don't take that approach. Now, the best thing I can show you in relation to that is the headlight. Now, the one thing that I don't like about manufacturers is when they make things that should be changeable on the road difficult. You can't actually change a headlight without taking the bumper off, which is shocking, because you should be able to do it at the side of the road. Volvo knew that, and they actually made the headlight so easy to remove, especially on the C30. So instead of having a bolt under there which you have to take the bumper off, literally Volvo have this one little metal pin which you pull out and the whole headlight just slides off. But yet literally changing a bulb takes 3 seconds instead of 120 quid labour from a lot of manufacturers. So literally that is probably the best thing about the whole car, that Volvo just make it easy to change things which should be easy to change. Right, enough of me chatting absolute bullshit talking about the Volvo. We're going to get in and we're going to take it for a spin. I'm actually really intrigued. Now, I've already drove it about 6 feet, and it's so weird going from the twin plate on the Evo to driving an actual normal clutch. I found it quite funny though. Emmy said the clutch has just been changed. How many miles ago was that?
30,000.
30,000 ago. So the clutch has just been changed. It's pretty much only just ran in. So I'm guessing that's why it's just really at the top for now. It's just nearly just run in. Guessing that's why? Yeah, okay, that's probably why. First of all, let's just move this seat up so it's actually like we're driving a car and we're not in a sunbed shop. Right, let's go.
Those headrests are really comfortable.
Are they oh my god, wow! Let's go through the procedure of starting her up. So we turn the ignition on.
Wait.
Oh, never mind,
no,
did it anyway. Diesel life waits at once up. Now the one thing, the clutch is so high, and that's not just the Volvo, that's just because I've literally just put a brand new twin plate clutch in mine, so mine is like right at the bottom. I'll let you have a feel when we go out in it. First driving a Volvo C30. Now you've just had it remapped, haven't you? So
yes.
As I'll say again, it's 350 foot-pound, which is a lot. Like, that's not far off the torque of my Evo, so that initial punch should actually be quite fun to me, you know.
It kicks in at about 2,000.
Kicks in at wow, okay, so that's different. And we just got just over 200 horsepower, so you know, they're good figures, you know. Hey, this is actually like so comfy.
Yeah.
Like, this is really enjoyable to drive. I get in a lot of cars which look big from the outside and then feel small on the inside, but this actually feels a lot bigger than it looks. Like sitting in this, like with the seams issue, you can't see the bonnet whatsoever, so you actually do, it doesn't feel like you're sitting low in the car inside, but when that transfers to looking outside, it actually feels quite low. Like I can't see the bonnet whatsoever. Now Emily says that it actually feels like a boat. Is that true, Em?
Yeah.
Or was you a little bit joking about
No,
that?
it's not too bad, but sometimes it does feel like a boat. Like when you go around a tight corner, you're like,
We'll have to see around. Yeah, oh my god, them keys are so annoying.
it's so annoying.
Where's the sunglasses case, Em? Sort it out, come on, amateur.
Oh no!
Right, so let's see what the torque's like. See, the torque's pretty good actually.
Yeah, it pulls really well.
Oh, the brakes are a little bit spongy.
Yeah, the brakes are horrendous. I meant to say that.
Oh wow, we've got a little bit of pedal.
Yeah, the
pedal
brakes are
travel
horrendous.
there. It's so fun being able to just put your foot down in any gear and it's just there.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. It's like, it doesn't matter what gear you're in, it pulls. Like, you just put your foot down and it pulls. It's like, you can be sat on the motorway like at 70 and then...
I do mean by feeling a little bit bogey.
I mean 60, because obviously like you
60, yeah, we don't
60, you wouldn't pull at 70 because you don't...
No,
national speed.
national speed. It's kind of hard to review it because I'm just enjoying the drive. Do you know what I mean? It's just chill. It's like the most civilized car ever because it's like you don't even need to work for the power. I like it, and you know.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like it's not something that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go in the Volvo today. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not something I'd jump in and I'd take roads around like this, but it's just for me it's just such a nice change from the Evo. Like the Evo it's such a good car, but it's such a hassle.
It's not very civilized, is it?
It's such a hassle driving it, like with the immobilizer, with the clutch, with the gears. You can have a go of it, right, and you won't enjoy it. Trust me. It's fun in roads like this, but as soon as you start turning on and off and going around town, you know what? I do like it. The gearbox is actually quite notchy. I quite like that. Like you're getting a lot of like diesels and stuff, and the throws just and it feels so soft and horrible. With this, it's got quite a short throw, and it's actually quite notchy. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Compared to other cars,
yeah. Like
it is quite notchy, and I do actually really like the gearbox. The one thing I really don't like is the clutch. The pedal is just. Oh my god, it feels like the pedal's 3 times as long as any other car. The pedal's like this. The pedal's like this and the clutch is up here. It's literally like the amount of times I've been over revving it. Oh my god. The amount of, you got to do this with your foot. It's bloody silly. You know, although it, obviously the torque figure is a lot higher than the horsepower, it does keep pulling.
Yeah.
Like I've been in a lot of remapped diesels and you'll get an initial burst and then nothing happens.
Before I had it mapped, so it was 150 brake standard. Before I had it mapped, like you'd pull in second gear and it'd literally like burst and then it'd die off. Yeah,
turn around on the petrol station. Hey, it's fun, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It sounds good for a diesel as well.
It does. It actually sounded like a. I'm gonna get slated for saying this in the comments, but that second gear pull and it did sound like a Focus ST.
It's, you know, because it's actually, 5 like it literally, it does sound.
It does sound like a Focus ST.
It doesn't sound as tractory.
It doesn't sound as tractory now. It sounds good for a diesel, I'll tell you that. That bloody clutch.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at the steering lock we get. Oh wow.
The turning circle on this is horrendous. It's literally like a 16 wheeler.
Right, let's see how many turns we get at the wheel. I'm going to be dry steering, everyone's going to kick off, but I'm going to be doing it. So you get 1. Oh, right, okay.
So bad.
So we'll do another second gear pull here. Oh, that's fun. Sounds really nice.
Yeah, it does.
Are you going to get an exhaust on it and stuff?
Yeah, it's a standard exhaust at the minute, but I am going to get an exhaust on it soon.
Hey! I like it.
Whee. I
do actually like, you know, I do like it.
Ever changed your opinion on diesel?
No, sadly not. I don't think anything will change my opinion on them. I'm just a petrol guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. The only thing it's missing is just that little bit more, just to take it away from civilization. Like I think if you had that bit of an exhaust when you put your foot down, it'd give that extra sort of sensation. So I think you definitely need to get an exhaust in him. I think that'll totally transform it. It's civilised yet fun. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's one of those sort of cars where you can drive to work and sit in traffic happily, but then have a little bit of fun on the way home.
Yeah.
The colour has done it wonders because it just gives it that elegant sort of edge.
Yeah, it's like before when I first bought it, like the wing mirrors and like the grille and everything was silver.
Right.
But obviously like I've had all those resprayed, so it just looks so much
yeah, you've got everything colour matched and it does look really nice. So we pulled over and we found this lovely little stream, and there's no better way, no better position or place to end the video. Now what we're going to conclude, the Volvos get a lot of stick for being Grandad's car, but I feel like they've done a really good job here, especially with the blue. A lot more desirable to the younger market, and the engine sounds really good. Considering it's got standard exhaust, it sounds really good, and with a remap it's really opened it up, so it is quite impressive. Obviously it's not the car you're going to get out and use as a weekend car and throw around some of the lanes like this. In the handling you can feel where it is a little bit soft and where it is a little bit weighty and it's rolling a bit, but overall it's literally a really good car, best of both worlds. There are a few things which I don't like about it, but it's one of those cars, it's just really hard to nitpick things because it's just so simple and it is what it is, and it's not overdoing anything. It's very simple inside, but they've done a very good job of making it feel very luxurious, and in general it literally is just a best of both worlds car. You can get in it, you can chill and sit at 60 and you're getting really good miles per gallon, but then you do have that power. Fair enough, it's a little bit lax in the suspension side of things, which would be really nice to judge a T5, see if the T5 is a lot stiffer, but it's overall it's a really good. And as Emily says as well, it's totally different and it's so unique to most cars that people this age are getting. So it's got so much character. Really respect Emily for getting one, and I really do like it.